Oh yeah, this game just gives you a weapon. I forgot about that, and it's one of the best weapons in the series as well.
Which weapon?
It's the what's it? The Alpha Disruptor or something. I think that's what
Uh,
it's called. I will shoot it
I like
once
how
to
they
show
just
you
gave me
what
the
it looks
truck
like.
in the first one.
This is what it looks like. It's a beam of death. That's all you need to know.
Oh wow, okay, like the shock blaster.
But way more powerful. Like in every conceivable way. It's immensely powerful. I love it. It is... oh, I might be dead. Am I dead? No, I'm not. I got very lucky.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculously powerful. The those little balls of death that have been killing me recently, they will die in one hit to them at level 1. Rest assured, level 3 will be amazing.
So I'm gonna change the subject real quick.
Yeah,
I've been
please do.
talking with a bunch of speedrunners recently,
Oh yeah.
because they've been wanting to know if I had any information about like how they could break things more easily.
Mm.
And generally I don't, but I've been telling them what I remember. But they just sent me a video of somebody beating Blackwater City in like 15 seconds or something. And I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Was it TAS or was it actually?
It was
real
real.
time?
It was real.
You're gonna need to link me to that. I've seen the TAS version. I didn't know it was possible real time.
Apparently, this one is only about a second and a half longer than the TAS version.
Really, I'm
Yeah.
gonna need to see that. That's so cool. There's loads of like I assume you've been watching Zem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zem is awesome.
Zem and Raikaru.
Yeah, Zem is just an absolute legend. I will never ever be able to match his skill. It was interesting because before I started doing Wrench Only for Ratchet 3, he did Ratchet 3 Wrench Only as a speed run, and like everyone was like, Teal, why aren't you doing it as fast as this guy? And it's like, well, there is a difference. He was speedrunning it. I'm actually purposefully trying to kill everything. He's skipping everything. There is a huge difference.
It's a different type of game.
Yeah, because I mean, he's just trying to avoid every enemy. You can avoid enemies easily. I'm just not doing that because I find it too cheap. Unless I've killed it already and I've died.
Real car was Cena.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I've been talking with a bunch of them.
That's amazing.
Like Nano Hologuise, Boas, Cypress, I think his name is. Gamma Blaster.
I assume there's a Discord for it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we've been chatting.
An interesting thing about this game, just to point out, because it's a bit...
You want to talk about the game we're actually playing? Are you kidding?
Yeah, I just want to bring up this one thing, because I wonder if you know why it's doing this. I guess it's because they want to prioritize weapons. Like, every so often, whenever I use the wrench, even if I've switched to an item, even if it's not in my quick select, it'll just switch to a weapon. I'm really not fond of that. It's like the worst thing about this game. It's almost as bad as in the PS4 Ratchet, where every 5 seconds it's like, are you sure you don't want to be using a weapon? No, I don't want to be using a weapon. I'm playing with the wrench. Let me play with the wrench.
So it randomly chooses a weapon for you?
No, it basically just automatically goes on the weapon I was using previously, even if I've been on like 20 different items before that. Like, it'll just go to the weapon.
Is it just random, or do you press a button, or what happens?
It's just random. Like, I could go out of the vendor, and it's just, I've got the weapon equipped now, for some reason. Just because I presume it doesn't want me to use the wrench. I know you couldn't say even if you were, or even if you knew, but if you know anyone who's working on another Ratchet game, for the love of God, tell them to make it optimized for wrench only. And
what, you want to make your life easier, Teal? That wouldn't
I would like you to make it so that I don't have to use game-breaking exploits to get past certain areas because they're forcing me to use a weapon. Yes, I would. If that's fine, I would appreciate that.
I actually don't know if anybody's working on another Ratchet game. I have not been told.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I figured that wouldn't be the case. But I'm hoping that someone's working on Spyro HD remasters, because there are hints that might be happening. Especially since there are like the statues being remade. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Oh yeah, the
Crash and Spyro figures by Festival Figures, because it's just out of the blue. Like, okay, Crash makes sense because they're trying to promote Crash in the best way possible for a full figure for fans, which I'm gonna have to buy. It's so cool. But like, just Spyro as well, and the original like PlayStation Spyro, PS1 Spyro. Really now, that's interesting. You haven't showed any sign of using that in decades, so like the fact that
it's not the Skylanders Spyro. It's not the Skylanders.
No, it's the PS1 Spyro.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's just like, huh? Why is that happening? I wonder. Maybe you're doing it just for the fans, or are you working on Spyro HD Trilogy? Please, for the love of God, please announce it free. I want it so bad.
Those HD collections and the remakes and stuff have been doing pretty well. So
yeah, Crash especially. It looks gorgeous.
It does, yeah.
Absolutely
I've
gorgeous.
been seeing the trailers. It looks really good.
I've been getting a lot of views from it.
Good.
I don't know if you've seen it, but like any video I uploaded, it gets like 10 to 20,000 views minimum.
Well, that's good.
So
people must be excited about it.
Yeah, people were excited about it. I'm super hyped about it. I've got a lot of plans for it. I'm not going to spoil what they are, but for people to, I guess, to warn you ahead of time, within the first week of that game being out, I will be uploading over 400 videos, and that is not an exaggeration. I have many plans. Good luck, everyone.
Do you know when it comes out?
June 30th.
June 30th. Okay.
I will most likely be getting a review copy because I'm in Activision, so the chances are quite likely. Probably like a week or two ahead of time. Because with Skylanders, I was always getting it about a week ahead, but that was because the toys weren't ready yet. With this, it'll be a code, so it'll be very different. So it should be ready. I mean, they're usually ready like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, from my experience. Or at least the codes for reviews are, for the most part. So here's hoping. That'd be nice.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
I'm praying and hoping that YouTube will fix its adpocalypse thing. Because I have lost so much money from these. I don't know if you've really heard about that or not.
What is it?
So basically, advertisers have been pulling out of YouTube because every so often, like their adverts go on like news websites which are like covering terrorism or whatever, and they don't want to be associated with that kind of video. So they're being pulled out. And to give you some context of how much money I'm losing, the Crash videos alone, in the space of around 2 weeks, I should have made around $600. I've made only $150.
Oh, wow.
That's the huge loss. That's why I've set up a Patreon, everyone. But no, really, it's insane. Please, for the love of God, fix it by June 30th. I could make so much money, and it will not happen if that happens. It would suck so much.
YouTube's losing a lot of money too.
Oh, YouTube is losing millions. Probably hundreds of millions. I mean, I don't know how bad it is for them. But I'm the little guy with nothing. Please fix it.
Fix it for Teal.
Yeah, more than you guys. Fix it for me. So
we need to start a Save Teal campaign.
I mean, technically some people are leaving YouTube, so my competitors are leaving, which is somewhat helpful.
Where are they going?
Twitch. Twitch has set up an affiliate program, so you can actually make money as an affiliate, which basically is open to pretty much anyone who has a viewership of free. And it's basically just like, hey, it's like an extended donate button where Twitch gains a little bit. So it's actually a really good system because I'm an affiliate now. And now partners gain a little bit more as well because they've set up another service or an extended service for partners who are already there. So it's pretty good what they're doing. It's just all about getting an audience really, but a lot of people are migrating over there and to other websites and stuff because YouTube is just going really bad right now. It's a really stupid like boycott though. It's mainly started by the Wall Street Journal than anything, but it's because they've just been gunning for YouTube recently because we're such a threat to the Wall Street Journal as a whole.
Yeah.
But it's such a stupid thing because like if you can say use McDonald's as an example, if you put it on a TV show like Game of Thrones, which gets like 10 million viewers per episode, like that's 10 million people. But with YouTube, if you pay say like I mean, I don't know how much it would cost to put an ad on for Game of Thrones, but probably a lot. A couple million at least, I'd imagine. But like, say you do it for YouTube. You pay, say, 20 million to be on all of YouTube for 3 days, and it can be on any and every video. Like, that, you're going to get a viewership of 300 million. Easy. And all you need is just the logo to plant the seed of an idea of, oh, I want a McDonald's now. Like, it's such a, like, screw the, like, when people aren't stupid, we're not going to think, oh yeah, McDonald's are terrorists. They're on a video talking about terrorism on a news site. Obviously they're terrorists. Like, no one thinks like that. No one believes that's the case. It's just...
So what do they want to do? Do they want to be able to say we don't, like, to opt out of being on certain channels? Or?
Yeah, basically that's what YouTube's working on. Like, you can... basically they're working on finding a way of making it so they can pick and choose what kind of videos they want to be on. So if they don't want to be on anything war related, or if they don't want to be on whatever, like, that's the idea, I think. But it's still insane and stupid, and like, they make so much more money. That, like, McDonald's, if we use the McDonald's example again, they are losing so much money just based on the fact that they're not advertising on YouTube, and it's really silly that they're just being so stubborn about it. Stop being stubborn. Help me make money. That's what it all boils down to. I don't know. It's weird. So YouTube has changed. Not necessarily for the better.
They must be used to the model where they can pick and choose what stuff they want to be with.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to change. YouTube's going to fix it. They'll probably be like, I don't know, another... I imagine by the end of May at the latest. They can't keep it. They're losing so much money. They can't keep it up. I mean, they can. They can keep it up forever, but because they got the money to do it. But I mean, like, they don't want to keep losing that money. So they're going to fix it, I imagine. I would hope. He says, praying.
This is very Shadow of the Colossus part you're at right now.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't even know if there's anything on this dinosaur. Yes, there is. There's a raritanium chest that's just sort of floating inside the dinosaur.
Wow.
Yes.
What?
Nice. That was awesome. Good.
Is this the same dinosaur that was in Nexus?
I don't know.
In the museum part?
Yeah, actually it was. Yeah, you're right. It definitely was. You are correct. That's awesome, actually. I forgot about that. I genuinely forgot the museum existed for a minute there. I love Nexus. I haven't played it in years. I should play it again at some point. I should play it Wrench only after cracking time.
Yeah, see if you can do that.
Apparently All for One is doable.
Wrench only?
Well, like fist only, but yeah. I mean, I haven't seen James Alexander's playthrough of it, but he did it with his dad. Like fist only. I think, like, areas where you can't reach the enemy, you can pretty much, like, launch each other at them. So it's sort of a way of getting around it, and hitting them, which is interesting. I'm considering doing that at some point. I don't know if you own it. That'd actually be fun. Would you like to be in on that?
I think I had it at some point. I don't know if I still... I don't know
I
where my...
would gladly buy it for you if you would be up for that. That'd be amazing.
Well, you also have to buy me a PlayStation 3.
I see. That's a shame. That's a little harder. I see. If Crash goes really well... like, if Crash goes super well, we're talking thousands upon thousands I could make. YouTube, fix your shit. Donate to the page. I will keep plugging that. It really helps. Are you bringing back yours at some point?
My what?
Your Patreon. Because I loved that. I loved your podcasts. It was great.
I don't know if I'm going to do Patreon again, because it was kind of a pain in the ass, but...
Right.
I have been thinking recently about doing more educational stuff, because that was sort of fun to do.
Yeah, it was really fascinating. It was always an absolute joy to watch. And I said this to you beforehand, but I've shared it with so many people. My friend Nicole, who goes by the username Awesome in my world, she's doing game design at uni, and she's really talented. I think she's brilliant, and she's going to do a lot of great things. Like, she's probably one of the most... I mean, I know she's my friend, so I'm going to big her up anyway, but she's probably one of the most dedicated students at that university. Because, like, there were so many lectures from game designers and various people in the industry, and she goes to every single one of them, even if it's the same person.
There's always two types of students. there's the ones who want the grade and the ones who want the skills, and usually the ones who want the skills are more dedicated.
Mm. Yeah, and no, she's made a couple friends with them as well, just like by talking to them afterwards and asking questions. And she's worked on a couple of stuff, and they've been really impressive so far from what I've seen. And like every so often, she asks me like feedback, and I'm just like, "Have you considered doing that?" And she was like, "Oh, that'd be good," and just like works on it, and or just considers another way around it and stuff. So it's just she's really good at what she does. I expect, I mean. Who knows what the future holds for anyone, but I would be very surprised if she wasn't working on some big things in the future, because she's got the talent for it. I fully believe that. But
have you ever seen those videos which are like someone watches a like a screenplay writer does like clips from a movie and explains like the background of like what the screenwriter did to achieve certain things.
So sort of like a director's commentary but screenwriter.
Yeah, or a director, but it's basically like somebody who breaks down a movie in terms of whatever their discipline is.
Right.
Like
no, not specifically.
I've seen a lot of them for like Star Wars, and they've been making me think of like doing that with game stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
They're not doing it with their movie, right? It'll be Star Wars, and then they'll be like the most recent one I saw was a comparison of Rogue One, and it was from a screenwriter who was comparing Rogue One and Episode 7.
Okay.
So like, why did Episode 7 work better for the most part than Rogue One?
Would you say that? I mean, Episode 7 is fantastic, but I loved Rogue One with every fiber of my being.
You'd have to see the video, but he makes a pretty good case for it.
Okay. Interesting.
His point was that Jin in Rogue One, for the first half of the movie, wasn't as active. Like everything sort of happened to her for the first half of the movie.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Whereas the second half of Rogue One was brilliant.
Yeah, the second half is one of the best sequences I've ever seen.
Whereas in Episode 7. His point was that Rey is more active for almost all of it, whereas her problem is mainly that like her like he points out like every character has the lie that they believe in, and in her case it was that her family was going to come back and get her, but that the lie she believes in doesn't actually impact the story or her character really at all, besides the fact that she mentions it a few times.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was just interesting points about like the pluses and minuses of the different approaches they took in those movies.
Huh. I'm gonna have to watch that. That's fascinating. Never really thought of it that way.
Remind me, I'll send you a link. Yeah, it's interesting. I liked both of the movies too, and it seems like the guy who did the video liked them both also. But
I just love how dark Rogue One was at times. I mean, actually saying that, so was Episode 7. I mean, I can talk about, I guess, Episode 7 more than Rogue One without spoiling things, because it's been out for a couple of years now. But with I love the fight in the snow, because it's so like with all the other movies, they're so scripted fights, but it's sort of more like just a dog fight in a woods because they're both untrained properly.
Yeah.
And I love that, and I love that Kylo Ren just like punches himself to like fuel the rage a little bit more. Just little subtleties like that is lovely.
It's interesting. My brother-in-law always talks about how he felt like the fight scenes in the original trilogy were better, even though they weren't as well choreographed, because they were more about like the emotion behind the fight than they were about the fight itself. And I thought Episode 7's fights were like, well, some of them had really good choreography. They were more about the emotion.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I agree to an extent. I can't stand aspects of the original trilogy because I've been spoiled by stuff that the newer ones do. Unfortunately, because I just it just feels, some of it feels like Episode 6. The final scenes in that, I think the fight there is phenomenal. Like it's very simple, but it's also very powerful, and in more ways than other fights can only dream of, really.
Is that when Anakin loses the high ground to Obi-Wan?
No, I mean in Episode 6, when Luke's basically fighting Vader, and it's just like Luke slowly getting more evil slightly. and
Yes.
before realizing, like, that's so good. It's
So that's
amazing.
what I think. Okay, so this is my theory about have you seen the trailer for The Last Jedi?
Yes. Oh, I love it.
See,
It's so
you know how Luke
so
says-
much out of nothing.
You know how Luke says he only knows one thing, and it's that the Jedi have to end.
hmm
I think I know what he's talking about in that.
Okay, go on.
So what I've always said about the Jedi was that they're all about repression,
Okay.
right? In terms of like stuffing your emotions inside and not letting them out. And to my mind, that's the reason why there are Sith, right? Because the Force has to stay in balance. So
Right.
if there are Jedi who are trying to only be good, that means there have to be Sith who are only bad.
Yeah. Okay.
And so remember, Anakin was supposed to bring balance to the Force, and in a way he did, because there were so many Jedi and they were winning, and then Anakin killed them all,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And so then there were 2 Sith and 2 Jedi left, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So it was, so what I'm thinking is, like, they have to figure out a way to incorporate the light side and the dark side in themselves, or they're going to keep creating this same pattern that repeats itself over and over again.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm so hyped for that film.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see Luke Skywalker again.
And Carrie Fisher's gonna be super sad.
Oh yeah, man!
That's
I
gonna hurt.
started feeling like a little girl at the end of Rogue One because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's CGI in that.
That was really good.
What the? I mean, Disney did the best thing they could have ever done by buying LucasArts. Like,
Yeah.
Their technology is insane. Their
Now, if only
team
they'll sell us
is
the
remarkable.
original trilogy.
Hmm?
Now, if only they'll sell us the original unedited.
Yeah,
trilogy.
well, I mean, Disney is at the helm. Maybe they will one day.
I'm sure someday.
You never
Because
know.
at some point they're going to say, all these people were willing to give us money for this. Why don't we just give it to them?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, not just some money, potentially a lot of money, because
All the money.
there are some super diehard fans out there. They would pay all the money for it. I do not.
But
doubt
anyway,
that.
what I was saying is I would be really interested in doing a video series that's
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
that's what we're talking about. yeah.
But,
That'd be awesome.
But I don't have time to do all the editing and shit that I would have to do for that right now. So maybe at some point when I have more time.
Just upload the raw files and I'll edit it.
There we go. It's not like you have enough editing to do.
Well, I mean, I will, but I'm editing a friend. It would be super fun. Like, it wouldn't be a chore. It would be like if I was watching my own stuff editing, like, I'd be like, oh, I have to do this now. But if I'm like, if it was someone I didn't know, I feel like it'd be much harder to edit. But if it was, I feel like a film would be easy or a TV series would be easy, just because it's got a narrative. But editing a friend would be super fun, just because I know that person, and I would also have an instinct on, like, if they're like, oh, I wouldn't want this in it. I know where you want it. Like, if you're like, please cut this out. Like, I know why you want to cut it. Sure, I get it. We've done that a couple of times with this series, like once or twice. So it's
What? No, we haven't cut any. What are you talking about?
no, of
man?
course we haven't. Sorry.
Nothing.
Nah,
yeah.
I've done that in the past, like, just with
100%.
my own stuff. Like, I mentioned something, I'm like, that's really personal, like, not about me. I shouldn't say that. I will cut that out now.
With our developer commentary stuff, we always got a lot of praise for it being unedited, but I edited the hell out of those things. What I didn't do is I didn't take out stuff that made me look bad.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I left that stuff in because it's hilarious. But I took out stuff that was confusing or, you know, like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
not anything, not just stuff because it made me look bad.
Yeah, no,
Or
that
you
makes sense.
like or if it, like you were saying, it was it was about somebody else.
Yeah. And you like didn't realize it was kind of crossing a line at the time.
Yeah, and then when I play it back, I'm like, oh, that's harsh. I'm gonna take that out. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was never to make me look good, because I mean, if you watch those things, I make this stuff look terrible all the time,
But that's part of your charm.
especially when I play.
Yeah,
It's funny
no,
because
you're great.
a lot of the comments on the videos are like, I can't watch He's so bad.
Did he really make this? Yeah, actually.
Yeah, hard to believe.